Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for taking your time to attend this webinar. My name is Sarah. I'm the Customer Success Manager at freeconference.com. I just want to let you know the meeting is being recorded, so the video or the screen sharing and the audio is being recorded. So we can send this to, if you would like a copy of it later, I can send it back to you. I realize we didn't take a registry, so if you just message support@freeconference.com after this takes place if you'd like to have a copy of this recording. So you are all muted. We will see if we can have a question and answer session at the end, but for now, please, as Diane has done, post your message in the chat. If you've got general questions about the product, about Free Conference, or if you are having any technical difficulties as well with the meeting generally. So let me just share my screen so that everybody is clear about how you can post a message in the chat. So you'll just see here when you're in the online meeting room, you click here, open chat, and then you can just type your message in the bottom. So, and then I can see that. So I'll answer Diane's question. If you want to mute everybody, good question. So I'll show you, there's a very quick way here in the online meeting room. If you want to mute everyone, there's more than one way to do it. So if you click here in the menu on the right, so normally when you're sharing your screen, or you have a video conference or whatever you're doing, the menus go away so that you have a good clear screen. If you just move your mouse, you'll see they appear. On the right hand side, you'll see there's a little sort of speaker. If you click on this, and then you've got the option to mute everyone or unmute everyone. And then you also, it's what we call Q&A mode. If you leave that box checked, it allows people to unmute themselves. Now you'll uncheck that box, it's in presentation mode, so you can't unmute yourself. So that's one way to quickly mute everybody. The other way, if you have the participant list open, which I often do when I'm in a meeting, there's a button at the top that does the same thing, mute or unmute all. The other one, and I'll go to the account settings. Here in your settings section, you have moderator controls at the bottom on the menu here. And from here, you can pick your default mute mode. So if most of your meetings are small ones with maybe 5 people, conversation mode is probably fine. Individuals can mute or unmute their own line using either *6 on their phone or the mute button that you would have noticed. I'll go back there. There's a mute button here at the top of the meeting room. But if you've got a larger meeting like this one, it's best to set it to either Q&A or presentation mode. So with this particular one, because I just want to make sure everybody can hear me, I popped it in presentation mode, and as I was saying later on, I'll probably put it into Q&A mode, and people can raise their hand then and unmute themselves, or I can also unmute you individually. So this is good if you want to have an overall setting for all your meetings, then that is the best way to go. I've also set this particular call to presentation, so I set the settings to presentation mode, and then I went in and scheduled my call so that this call would be in presentation mode. Be aware that if you've already scheduled a call, so if you do that, so if you've got something here in the upcoming section, it's already scheduled, and then you change the setting, it won't change for those calls that are already scheduled. So the setting that you had when you originally scheduled that call is the setting that will remain. Having said that, you don't have to schedule your calls. You can just use this as a reservationless or ad hoc service. And so you can set whatever default mode you want, and then it doesn't matter whether, if they're not scheduled, it doesn't matter. You can change it for each each meeting that you've got coming up. So hope I've explained all of that. So I'm just going to talk generally about using the service now, and then please do pop any other questions in the chat and I'll be happy to answer them. So let me just go to the account. You'll see at the top of the screen that you've got your primary dial-in number along with your access code. If you hover over, you're going to see your moderator pin. So let me go to this account. And that's your online meeting link. So you can use these details anytime you want to, 24/7. That is your dedicated access code. You don't have to use the moderator pin. The moderator pin is really useful when you call in and, like I just explained, when you need to mute other people, that you use that instead of the access code. So if you've got a larger call and you'd like to be able to mute other people with *7 on your phone, that's what I didn't cover, glad we got here. So that's the other way to mute people. So you need to make sure you call in with your moderator pin. But if you are having small calls, as I said before, if it's, you know, like you have conversation mode, it's just a quick family meetup or a small team, or even just two of you that maybe want to call in, or three, and then share your screen, you can just have everyone use the access code. You don't need the moderator pin, but you would need the moderator pin, and let me show you. And if you click dial in information, you'll also see your call-in number, your code, and your pin there, but you'll also see a list of phone commands that are available to you. So this is the important one here, the *7. So as a moderator, you'll be able to mute and unmute a bunch of people all at once. A bunch of people, everyone who's joined with the access code. So anyone who's joined with a moderator pin wouldn't be muted when you use this option. And so the other thing that you can do as a moderator, you can end the conference with *0. And you can also, if you have a paid subscription, you could start and stop recording with *9. The other one that's important, if we're talking about muting, and I mentioned raising hands, someone that's called via phone can use *2 to raise their hand, and then you'll see as a participant in your in the online meeting room, you have a little hand icon at the top of the screen, so you can indicate to me if you have a question. So that's your basic conference details that are most important. Now we're getting a lot of questions about capacity and things like that, so we'll cover some of those basic questions. You can have up to 1,000 people connect via phone at any one time. You don't have to schedule or reserve places or anything to have that capacity, and it's for free accounts as paid accounts. So that's via phone, 1,000 people, 1,000 participants. Via web, joining the way we are now, you can have, with a free account, you can have up to 5 people connect. Just go to the pricing page so you can see it in front of you. But yeah, with a free account, you can have up to 5 people connect via web. That means all of those 5 people could share their screen or video. With the starter plan, you can have up to 15 people connect via web. With the plus plan, up to 50, and with the pro, up to 100. So, but with the free subscription, it's 1,000 via phone. Each conference can last up to 12 hours long. There's not like a cutoff at 45 minutes. They can last up to 12 hours, and you can have as many conference calls as you need to during the day, or during the whole month. You're not limited there. If you do go for one of the paid subscriptions, we have some premium access numbers. So let me go and explain that, because I think that's important in case that you did want to use those. So as you'll see, we have a huge list and a lot of US numbers here where there's no charge for you to use them. Be aware these are local numbers, so local charges could apply for most people with a like, what do you call it, so an unlimited long distance plan. Calls will be included. People on a landline, just they might need to check charges for them. Now, if you go further down, you'll see we've got some toll-free numbers, some additional local numbers, international numbers. Those are included with every paid subscription. And let me go bring up the pricing page again. Yeah, so I just saw Vince's question. Yeah, the starter plan is free for the first 2 months at the moment. After the 2 months, it goes back to $9.99 a month. We've just really quickly put that together. When you log into your account, you're still going to see that it's $9.99 a month, but you will get those first 2 months for free. If you've just signed up for the starter plan, let us know. We can get you set up to have the first 2 months for free if you'd like that. If you've already paid, we can just reach out to support@freeconference.com, and we can get you on those first 2 months for free. So what's included with that in terms of the premium minutes, you get 100 per month. Be aware that those minutes, so that's to these numbers here, these ones that are listed where it says upgrade plus overage, those minutes are calculated per caller. So for example, if you've got 2 people in a conference calling into the US toll-free number and your conference lasts 30 minutes, that would be a total of 60 minutes used up. And you can have people using different numbers in the same conference. So maybe you're using a regular US number and your participants are using a toll-free number because maybe you don't want them to hear free conference when they call in because you don't have that message on there. It's like an unbranded greeting. Or maybe you just want to make sure they're definitely not charged to call in. So you can use different numbers in the same call. Just make sure everyone uses the same access. And then once you use up your 100 minutes, if you're on the starter plan, then you'd be charged a 10-cent per minute per caller overage rate. So then you'd have to be aware that that's going to be added on at the end of your billing period. So billing period starts the day you sign up. And so if you sign up today on the 17th of April, it will renew again, and any overages would be charged then. You can upgrade at any time to the to the Plus or Pro throughout your billing period, and it will just be prorated. So 500 minutes would be included on the Plus plan, and then actually you get a slightly cheaper rate at 8 cents per minute per caller in overage. So depends on how much you might want to use on those premium numbers. And just finally let you know, we do have some of these pay-per-use numbers. They cost us a little bit more to acquire. So any China, Ghana, or India dial-in number is going to cost you 15 cents per minute per caller. And that's in addition to the monthly fee. So there's no minutes included for those numbers. Yeah, so Diane, just answering your question. Yeah, with the free subscription, it's limited to 5 web participants. But right now, you can get the starter plan for free for the first 2 months. So I'd recommend just sign up to your free subscription and then come to the pricing page and upgrade afterwards. That's the procedure I'd recommend if you want those free first 2 months for free. And then if you don't need it, I really hope that we don't need this as much in the next 2 months. You can always just unsubscribe and then you won't be charged anymore going forward. But yeah, it's 5 web participants is the limit on the free plan. But you can have additional people call via phone if you're okay with, you just want to allow them to listen, and you can send them documents if you want to do it that way. So a web participant means, yeah, anyone that's connecting via this, what we call the online meeting room. I'll come back over here. So this is what we consider a web participant. So they might not have their video connected, just like many of you today, but they're a web participant. They have the option to turn on video or share their screen. Great. Yeah, so actually I'll show you, yes, you're all considered web participants. This particular account is subscribed to the Pro plan, so it can allow for up to 100 people to connect via web. But just to be clear, it's designed more for a small number of people to present maybe to a larger group, and then so only up to 8 people at a time could have their video or screen sharing turned on. But you can't see more than that at a time anyway. So you can, if you look in the participant list here, I can see that person's connected via web browser, this one as well. And also if you connect via one of our mobile apps, that would be also considered a web participant. Anybody, these people where you see a phone icon, they've joined just via phone. I'm going to walk through a few more features. If anyone else has got questions, just pop it in the chat still. I'm totally open for that as we go along. So I explained that you don't need to schedule calls. The scheduler is really handy for you to send out automatic invites and reminders. And also if you'd like to, so I showed you earlier that you can set default settings for your entire account. But if you wanted to have a call which had a specific setting like this one here, this is a paid subscription. On a paid subscription, you can set up what's called, not this account, over here. So on a paid subscription, you can have what's called, you can have security settings, and you can set up a one-time access code. So that's where scheduling is useful. So with this one, join early, that see a message saying it's not ready to start, and then this one-time code can only be used for this meeting. So in this case, I didn't want to share my account details with everybody, so I set up a one-time code. That means that this can only be used, code that you've joined with today can only be used for this meeting during this half hour. If it went longer than the half hour, it would continue, but if I end the call or if everybody's left the meeting, then you couldn't join again using that same code. So that's a good little security feature. Again, that's with paid subscriptions. So I'll answer Vince's question. The best way to upgrade from free to starter at the moment is I would go, let me see if I can so not in your account, because in your account you're not going to get the free 2 months. I will share the pricing page here in the chat. You want to go to the pricing page and hit the starter. So once you're already on the free plan, come over to the pricing page and hit buy now. I'll put that in the chat. Good question, Maurice. This is only working in Chrome at the moment, in Google Chrome, the online meeting portion. Let me just clarify, you don't have to log into your account every time to start a call. You can just use your conference details and never log into your account again if you don't want to. You would miss out on taking advantage of some other settings and features, but you don't have to. But if you want to have an online meeting, yes, it works best in Google Chrome on a Windows or Mac computer or Linux. It does also work on Chrome on an Android device, but you can't show your screen from an Android device. You can view screen sharing on an Android device. At the moment, on iPhones, it's only possible to join an online meeting using our app. I can show you where to download that. So we've got download links here. So for Android devices in the Google Play Store, if you wanted to do that, but you can just see using Google Chrome on an Android device. We have, that's for iPhone, we have the EOS iPhone and iPad. So you would need the app for an iPhone or iPad to be able to connect via web in a conference, but at the moment it isn't possible to see or share your video. You can use, if you wanted to share documents in the app, I will show you, as I did previously here, you can upload a document from an iPhone, and you can also upload for someone else to see on an iPhone, and then just hit present, and then they can do it that way. But we don't have video yet on an iPhone. We are very, very close to having video on iPhones in Safari browsers, so that is coming. Look out for that. But for now, it's Google Chrome. If you don't like Chrome or you don't have Chrome, we've also got desktop apps for Windows and Mac. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm just answering the question, the last person. Everybody can, I see someone's using the whiteboard. Anyone can use the whiteboard or the screen sharing or video at the moment. Glad that the Linux app worked well for you. That's brilliant. We are going to implement really soon what we call webinar mode. We'll have more control over who can use those features. So that's on its way. I believe that will be included with paid subscriptions, if that was something you're looking for. I would like that right now. So, but everybody's really lovely on this webinar. So thank you, appreciate it. Let me go and see over here the other one I wanted to talk about. Where are we in your account? So I'll just go to the settings again. You can upload your photo here. That's really nice for people to see your picture. If you're using web conferencing, we have a really good feature called Pinless entry and SMS notifications. That's really more for the host of the call. You can put your phone number, your cell phone number here, and it means that when you call into your conference dial-in number, it'll connect you directly to you having to enter anything, and it will recognize you as the moderator. The other good thing about the SMS notifications is if you're setting up a meeting, and I use this a lot, then I can get a text when someone is in my meeting room. So if I have set up a meeting with someone and they're early, I'll get a text notification telling me that someone's already there. So I can hop on if I have time, or messages and say, I'm almost there. So don't leave them waiting. And another great feature that's connected to that, if someone's waiting in your meeting room, this is new. This is at the moment available for $2.99 a month as an upgrade, as in what we call an add-on, or it's also available with the Pro plan. What it means is when someone connects to your conference call, where there's hold music that normally plays. Now you can turn it off. You can just choose silence if you want to. But now with this upgrade, you can also have like a playlist of other music that plays while your participants are waiting in the meeting room. So it's really nice to, you can change it whenever you want. I prefer it. Some people get bored of the same music. It's a nice, and you can also upload your own file here. So you could have a recorded message playing there, telling people about your company, or you could put your own music on there. And you could, for church groups, you could maybe play a passage from the Bible. It's up to you. There's a lot you can do with that. And that would work really well in combination with the next feature here, which is called the waiting room. So if you've got the waiting room turned on, it means that the call won't start until you arrive as the host. And that would mean that they're all going to hear the music if you have music playing until you join. One more point I realized I haven't mentioned, to join as the moderator or the host online, all you need to do is make sure you're logged into your account. So if you're logged into your account, you go and hit start, or you open this meeting link, it will recognize you as the moderator. And I'll just show you my screen here. You'll see that I have other options. I can unmute me, or I can start recording if I want to, or stop recording, which other regular participants wouldn't see. So the question about if more people join than the capacity. So if you've got more than 15 people join, there is a support article explaining this, and I can show you what they see. And I'm going to show you more about the support site because it's really helpful. So if they join, if you've got only 5 or 25 and someone else joins, they'll see this message that the meeting room is full, and they'll have the option to call by phone. They'll click on that button and it'll give them the dial-in number and the access code that they can use. So that would be what happens there. At the moment, the moderator isn't notified, but the host is given instructions so that the participant is given instructions that show them where to go. So I see a message from Maurice that some participants didn't get their invites. I know that sometimes with my Gmail account, they'll land in the promotions folder or something strange. So I would ask people to check their spam or other email organizational folder. Sometimes people do have overzealous, particularly in companies, their firewall or their antivirus will filter out our emails. So you can reach out to us, we can give you instructions, but if you just need to get things rolling really quickly, just be aware that people don't have to receive an invite through our system to be able to join. You can just share the call-in information or the link via any other method, via a group chat, or you can call them or send them an email from your own email program. You can do it however you like. So there are other ways, other options. You can also resend invites. It's not, it could be simpler, but you can do it. You go to the upcoming section of your account, and then just make a small change in your invite. You can pop reminder in the subject line, or even just a dash or a dot, and then just hit next, and send, and it will go to everyone again, and it will say updated information. So you said you had an issue. So we try to integrate into the system. If people have issues with their internet or something goes on, we've tried to make it that it works as seamlessly as possible, that people rejoin. But yeah, with the one-time security code, people can all rejoin throughout the entire world. The meeting's still going on. You'll notice this is already half an hour gone, but because we're still here, people can still connect. It's not expired. As soon as the call ends, that link is going to expire. But if you're not using the one-time C code, you can enter and rejoin as many times as you want as well with that meeting link. There's not a restriction. So we don't really have integration with any chat software, or we just have this chat that you see here in the online meeting room. So no, you would just need to do that with a third party separately. The free plan, 1,000, yes. So yeah, I'll cover it. I'll just talk again about capacity. The free plan allows up to 1,000 people to connect via phone, and then up to 5 people via web. So you can't have 1,000 people in this online meeting room. The maximum you can have with the Pro plan would be up to 100 people in a web meeting. Yeah, it's only audio via phone, correct? But you can join, like as the moderator, it's really useful to join the online meeting room, and I'll show you how to join if you just want to monitor the call and you're connected via phone. A lot of people do that. So what you do is you just go and hit start, and then choose the option here, view only. So once you've hit view only, and I'll do it just so you can see, you've got less options. With that, then you can manage participants. You can see who's on. You can mute and unmute people. You'd also have the option, I'll show you that too. You also have the option here to, I could, not picking anybody out in particular, don't feel offended. I could make someone a moderator. I could block this person, disconnect from the call here. I could pin them, and that would be like, say they're sharing there's a couple of people with video and screen sharing, and I want to make sure that I'm always seeing one person. You can pin their tile. I could unmute them individually. I could make someone a moderator. So that's options that you have here in the online meeting room. So yeah, it's handy to be able to see what's going on. And if someone raises their hand, then that person's icon is going to pop up to the top. There you go. Thank you, Vince. So you can see really clearly who is in your meeting, and who would like to ask a question, who is muted and unmuted. And you also have an option here to see your own connection. And if anybody else here had their video on, well, you can see here someone is having an issue. So if you notice the audio is not so good from them, you can suggest maybe that they call in via phone, or just try reconnecting, and I can see that some details about their connection. Some of that might be gobbledygook for you, but it can help you just to say, hey, it looks like there's an issue with your connection. You know, let's try something else. Or they might be able to hear you, but it might be an issue with you hearing them. So you could keep them muted. They might be introducing some interference into the call. Using the open conference video meeting. Good question. So the way that screen sharing works, it takes over. So it will be the main thing that everybody is seeing. It is what we call pinned by default. If you've got other people with their video on and they start talking, the screen sharing is going to be still remain the main focal point. But as soon as you stop sharing screen, if you've got your video on and somebody else has their video on, it's going to switch between each speaker. So you can see now I don't know if you see that in my tile is highlighted yellow. And it means I'm speaking. If someone else now was to start talking, it would switch to their icon would show in the main window. So, but screen sharing takes precedence. If two people were sharing their screen, it would switch between those two people sharing their screen, depending on who was speaking. So I hope that answers. Great. I am happy to keep answering questions. We can continue a little longer. Let me see some settings. So I'll just mention chimes and name announce. If you have a large call, I always turn this off because it will just go ping, ping, and you'll disturb the meeting. So I always turn that off. But it's handy for smaller meetings. You want to know who's joining, and you can have the name amounts on or the chimes. Time zone is set to your computer's default, so it should just be correct, and that's the time zone that'll show in your invites. You can change your access code if you want to. Some people have regular meetings where they just want to, they don't need a security code as such, but they just want a new code every time. You can always do that here. It just generates an automatic, it's an automatically generated access code. And you can do the same for the moderator pin. Note that when you change, it'll change for that meeting as well. So just be aware. Oh, this is useful, primary dial-in numbers. Any number that's listed here will appear on any invitations you have. So you can use, I showed you earlier a list of dial-in numbers. You can use anything at all on that list. I'll go here again, show you where you can find that here. You can use anything here that's included with your plan. So this is a free subscription, this particular account. I can use any of these numbers. But if you want to make sure on your invites or just to set your own, for your own reference, a primary or a main number, you can do that here. The first one on the top is going to be the one that you see over here. But all the other numbers will be included in your invites by default. So let's say you regularly do you regularly do meetings with the UK, you can pop that number in here as well and hit save, and that will always appear on your invites. Okay, sorry for the... all right, I'm going to go over pricing and capacity one more time. With a free subscription, you can have up to 1,000 people call in via phone, and with a free subscription, up to 5 people connect via web in this online meeting like we're doing now. If you have paid plan, like this account where you're meeting, where we are on right now, it has the pro plan, and with that you can have up to, I'm not showing my screen, apologies, let me share my screen. So here we are at the pricing. So with the pro plan, up to 100 people can connect via web. So they can, that would be good for a webinar or large training meetings where people, you want them to view screen sharing or video. But I should mention, with the Pro plan, you also have access to YouTube streaming, which means that you can hook up your account to your YouTube account and essentially share your meeting with almost anyone anywhere in the world. It's virtually unlimited. So you can extend it beyond the 100 online. So I hope that is clear. But if you're just having people join via phone, audio only, it's up to 1,000. And you can have some people connect via web and phone, as you've seen in this meeting. We've got people connected via both methods. Someone's saying they're getting some static. There can be a lot of different reasons for static. So in a larger meeting like this one, I do recommend that people are muted who are not speaking in the call. I recommend placing the call into either presentation or Q&A mode. The other causes for static, I avoid using cordless devices. I have a pretty good, quite expensive cordless headset, but it's not as good as my cheaper corded headset, to be honest, in terms of audio quality. I'd also, you know, when people are on a mobile phone and you are in an area with bad reception, unfortunately, you know, there's a risk that there could be some audio issues. It can just come in through one person's line, static, and interfere and disturb the whole conference. So that's our sort of mantra, is mute all and carry on. Stay calm and mute all, sorry. Stay calm and mute all. Even if it's a small meeting, even if there's 3 of you, and someone doesn't understand 6 or who knows what's going on, mute all is really, you know, *7 if you're the moderator on your phone, or using the mute all button in the meeting room, and that's the best way to resolve that. And then individual people can unmute. If you notice it comes back with one person, just say, hey, can you try maybe calling in again, or if they don't need to speak a lot, keep their line muted. If you're having issues with interference or noise or poor quality on the web, I'd recommend, and I've done that now, close any other application that you do not need open during the meeting, because that can cause overload on your computer, CPU usage, and that interferes with also your internet access, and your computer's just overworked. So I always close any other application I don't need. Chrome uses a lot of resources, so if you have a lot of tabs open, even though you just have one instance of Chrome open, if you have a lot of tabs, it uses a lot of resources. So I try to close as many of my Chrome tabs as I can. And just, if you can, connect via an Ethernet cable to your internet rather than Wi-Fi. I'm connected via Wi-Fi and it works most of the time, but that could be an issue for some. So I hope that helps. Right. Great to hear. Yeah. I'm glad that that's working well. Sorry, I just saw you Ubuntu. Yeah, it should work. We've tried to make the system work really well, even if you don't have the greatest and most up-to-date computer or the fastest internet. We've tried to, so it will reduce, like if you have video on, it'll reduce the quality of your video a little bit to try to make sure everybody can be heard. So we've got some built-in mechanisms that try to make sure the meeting runs really well. So this recording will be available. Please let me post a link to our YouTube channel. That's where I'm going to put it. Let me stop sharing my screen and I will get that link for you. And then I think we'll slowly wrap it up. So I've just shared the link to our free conference YouTube channel or YouTube playlist. It's a playlist. I will put this recording on that playlist for you to view later, or hopefully by later today. There's also, you'll notice there's some other webinars there that we've done in the past that you might find useful, so you can listen to those and watch those training webinars as well. But I am going to finish now. Thank you everyone so much for your time. I realize this is an unusual moment in history, and we're trying our best. Bear with us. It's a lot more customers than we're used to, so we try to get back to everyone and help everyone as quickly as we can. But I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, wash your hands, and yeah, feel free to reach out to support if you need anything else. Take care. Bye.